Hello everyone. Video here, part two of the court case. If you have a court case, this is not legal advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not liable or anything. So here's the thing. Things are getting really, really rough out there in courts. They don't follow procedure anymore. They don't follow the law. They don't do want to do answer your notices. uh, they might accept if you put some documents, motions, and all that into the court. They don't care. They'll accept it, but they just don't care about law anymore. So this video is a little bit, it's just what I have done. It is, like I said, not legal advice. So into my case, I filed motions. I sent notices by mail, certified return receipt. I just recently asked for a certified copy of my file to the court. They sent it back and said that I needed to pay like $72 for the pack, the whole thing of my record, certified copy of the files of the court. Of course, they manipulate it. They do whatever they want with it, and sometimes they don't have it. Okay, this is the truth about courts, the lower courts. So this is for non-criminal kind of thing. Of course, if you get just a simple ticket, they put you as a criminal case. It's just a simple traffic ticket, but that's a fraud. A crime is when you commit a crime against, in common law, against somebody else. You have harmed somebody else. You have stole the property, damaged property of somebody else. That is in common law. Or if you've done some crimes where it affects other people, like drug trafficking and all those things that has an impact on other people. That is a crime. But when it comes to a simple like traffic ticket or whatever, they just put it criminal so they can write the bonds. They write four bonds, and they want you to perform on the bonds by appearance, the appearance bond. You appear in court, that's the appearance bond. So it's fraudulent. Okay. But it's getting rough out there when you want to do the usual filing, of things into court. So this video is to just sharing what I have done. You have to consider also, you have to consider if you have jail time kind of thing, if there's some jail time involved in this. So you don't want to put yourself in harm's way. Okay, you don't want to put yourself in harm's way. You have to be smart about these things. But it's just, you have to fight it. You have to fight it. So this is my strategy, my court case. It is, first of all, the first thing I did, send FOIA requests to the district attorney, to the chief officer of the officer that arrested you, or if they arrested you, of whatever it is. You're gonna send a FOIA request to the state attorney, your state attorney of your state, and the administrator of the courts. It's just one for both of them because they're usually in the same office. So send those certified return receipts. That's the first thing I did in my case. They don't respond. They don't care. I send an email. You have to look at the rules of the court by email because a lot of states allow you to send these things via email, but some states, like in my state, they need to pre-approve. This how much control, how nasty they are. Pre-approve the email, right? Like they're going to answer the email. Hey, I want to send this FOIA request via email. Please, answer me that if I could do that. You have to be pre-approved. They won't pre-approve nothing. So it comes to the point, and this is not legal advice, but it's getting to the point where you have to be when you consider what's going on. And filing papers and all that is just, yes, it does work. I filed my package that is on Gumroad. That pressures them because when you, first of all, you volunteer to go to court in some cases, like regular tickets and all that, you can discharge that, you can dismiss all that. But when you're being arrested and thrown into this venue where they make you go there, bail bond and all this crap, then there's not much you can do, right? Because they throw you into this venue, into this place. So I have a package in Gumroad that I send that is to be put on the record. And of course, when you go and you find yourself in front of them, you have to speak. You have to speak. There's a lot of uh, things that you can ask, a lot of questions. I have free documents in my Gumroad of scripts that you can learn. And the most important thing is to learn the procedures, the federal rules of procedures and the rules of the court of your state. Because not because you are the living, right? But at the same time, you want to know what's going on there because there's no law there. It's all commercial. They're dealing with like a dealer, like the judge is a banker, the DA, the district attorney is the offer maker. He's the one that offers you whatever and whatever. And then the clerk of court is the accountant because he's the one that makes the bonds. And then if you have a court appointed or your own lawyer, attorney, they work for the court. So he's not going to defend you. He's going to submit to the court. So you have really no help at all. So the best thing to do is just fight it yourself, but you have to know what's going on in there by knowing the rules and the procedures and all that. So you won't be like you can go into like a sovereign kind of thing, script, but I don't recommend that, even though there's some aspects that I did use in court. So just be prepared. I know it's hard. You get nervous, but this judge he interprets the law. He is not the law. He does not. He's an interpreter of the law. He's a minister. He should be in his ministerial duties to interpret the law, but nothing else, not to give judgment, right? So if you go with this mentality that it is a bank, that is not a court of law, and if you're not facing jail time, you have not done harm to anybody, then you can fight this. It is a long road to get dismissed, but it's worth it because you learn, you assert your rights, and you let them know that you're not going to put up with all this crap, okay? Because you did not commit a crime, okay? No insurance. That's what I got. No insurance and a tag that is a DOT tag. It ain't a crime. Believe me, it ain't a crime. But they sure have it in their books and the statutes and codes. The 120 days for no insurance in North Carolina. What? No, no, no. So you want a constitutional uh, go in there, asserting your rights, and the documents that you send, let them know who you are. Okay, but they're gonna fight you all the time. They're gonna fight you every step of the way until this case is dismissed. It might take several appearances in court. It might take just one or two or three or four or five or a year, but it is worth it because you let them know that, you're not gonna railroad me into this thing of, violating my rights, So just take it with a grain of salt, what I'm saying. So my strategy was first FOIA request to these people. They don't answer you, they don't care, but that's okay. Make sure you send it certified return receipt because you're gonna need that receipt. Then second step was I put my package. It is on Gumroad. What I use is about 7 documents. Well, the FOIA requests are 4 FOIA requests plus 4 more, so it'll be like 4 altogether. The FOIA requests you send them by mail. Um, in my FOIA request, it says by email, but that's too common. Not. It depends on the state that you're in and the laws of your state. So just, send them certified return receipt. You want to have that green, you want to put the post office, okay, and the green card return. And now the second thing is put the package that I have on Gumroad. If it comes with other things in there. And that's the second thing I did. And like in my other video, you want to do a research of the elements of your charge. You want to know what the officer needs to prove because they have elements of your particular charge. In my case, were 3 elements of each charge. I was charged with 3 things. And so just make a research, when you step out in court, you want to know what's going on in the court, and you want to know what the elements of your charges are, so you can defend yourself. Okay, so first steps, FOIA request, then I put my package in, and I put a few more notices. One I put a notice that I wanted the judge to be in his ministerial capacity. I put that notice. If you need that, email me and I'll send it to you. You can do ChatGPT and create it. Of course, ChatGPT or whatever GPT you pay, or the ones paid, like the paid ones, they'll listen to you, but usually they just don't. So I put another notice of what did I put? A notice. It'll come to me. And the other thing that I did later on the arraignment day, they put, they continue it, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to discharge. I'm sorry, to dismiss, but it didn't happen. So I asked for continuance. You can also ask for a motion hearing, and they didn't want to listen to my motions. They didn't want to listen to what I had to say, like usual. So ask for a motion here. If they denied, you're on the record. Speak to the record. You are speaking to the record, not to these people. These people don't care. They're in fraud. They're evil to me. All of them. I don't think there's a few judges in the United States. I don't know all of them, but there are few that are good, but very few. So they won't listen to you, but there's things that you can say, questions that you can say. Like I asked the judge that I was in front of. I asked her some questions and she was getting upset. She was getting upset. Now they sent me the body cam. I want to explain about my case a little bit. I cannot put it out there 100%. But they asked me, I did this. Oh, I'm sorry. It came to me. I put discovery in, I filed discovery. And when I was facing the DA and the judge, I said, do you have the discovery? Always ask questions to the judge, never statements, always questions. Do you have my filings? Do you have my discovery? And then she said, I would release the discovery to you with what condition? If you put it in social media, I will put you in jail 20 days. And then I'll charge you with contempt of court. So this is what you say about contempt of court. Remember the other video? I said, Your Honor, for the record, is this a civil contempt of court or criminal contempt of court? She got upset and she said, criminal. Okay, so she said that to me, and I said, okay, everything is for the record. Okay, so they gave me continuance, and she said to me, you better plead, because you don't want to plead. You don't want to plead guilty or not guilty, and you don't want them to plead for you. That is completely a crime. A crime, actually. The judge is committing perjury there. I don't know what, treason. I don't know what to call it if they plead for you. Don't let them plead for you. And there's things that you can say about that when they want to try and plead for you. That's not their job. It's your job. You're there to perform. They want you to perform on these bonds. But you're there. It's your case. You own the case. That's what I did. I was nervous. Everybody's nervous. Even the lawyers are nervous when you go in there, and the lawyers, they're all nervous. But you are too, but you say it. You assert your rights. So they gave me continuance. And so after they gave me continuance, the first thing I asked, this is important. I know maybe and I have this here, I asked GPT to draft me this motion, this so after I got the continuance, the first thing I said, I sent the court a certified return receipt, a request for a certified uh, of my file, of the file case. Like I said in the beginning, they did not send it to me. It'll cost me $72. And the reason that I'm not going to continue with this because I don't live in the county, in the city that I was charged. I live 5 hours away. So I have to do it through mail. And doing it through mail is not going to work. You can send it through mail, but you want to do something into the court. You want to go into the court because you want to go inside and ask for a certified copy of your file, okay? This is what they do, almost 100%. Not of course, but this is what they do. They do not give you the whole thing. They cut, they do all these fraudulent things for you not to get the original 100% certified original file. They keep the original, but they have to give you a copy of certified. They don't give entirely. They will change, they will add, they will do all kinds of things. So that's why I'm not going to pursue this because I'm far away. But if I was in the city that this happened, or the town that this happened, I will be there in court, ask for that, and I said, "Is this all of it?" And you read it, you go there and read it, and see if it's all of it, because they don't. They usually do not give you the whole thing. And that's where you want to go and pressure. You want to go and pressure them to give you the whole thing certified. Okay. And they can't come up with a with the whole file. They don't have it. Because in some courts there's no code of record, nothing. It's just a mess. So they don't have it. And that's the thing. That's why you ask for it. But I'm not pursuing this thing anymore. But they did with that, they did not answer my FOIA request to the district attorney. Okay, now my next step, and I know this is very controversial and it's not legal advice, but this is my next step because these people don't want to, I want this thing dismissed, right? So my next step is I still have a few months because once they continuous they and then the next continuance and the next court date, the officer is probably not going to be there, so the case gets weaker and weaker and weaker, and you suffer through it, but don't let it suffer. Don't let it, it's like you didn't commit a crime, right? But humanly speaking, you suffer through it because they still have that, especially if you have a bail bond and stuff like that. But don't let it bother you because you are certain you're right. You're fighting something. You're fighting the corrupt system. So the officer probably will not be there. Gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Okay. And then you can also vacate the court, and you can ask for not a jury trial. It's different. It's a trial by jury, a trial by jury of your peers. Jury trial, the judge can overturn that decision of jury trial. So you can ask for that too, to kind of just make room for the dismissal. And so this is so my next step will be, my strategy will be, and I know this is very risky, but if you're not facing jail time and stuff like that, if you're confident with what you're doing, I ask Claude AI to draft me. I am going to ask for the bonds. I'm gonna ask for the SF State Form 24 State Form 24A, which is the payment bond, the bid bond, payment bond, and 25 is a Form 25, which is the performance bond, I believe, or the surety bond. I'm not really sure. Let me look it up. It's in Gumroad, all the bonds that please look at the document that I have on Gumroad that tell you about the bonds. Okay, study it because this is what happened even in a simple traffic citation. Bonds, bonds. The name of the game is banking. The name is money, money, and they want you to perform right there. So this is you need to understand these things. We need to be smart about this. So go to my Gumroad. I have a document there where it tells you all about the bonds. So I asked Claude AI to draft me a letter. Is this it? Okay, this is, I think this, no, this is not, this is the preliminary one. Ask me that asking for that and asking for the 1099-A. And then you are going to send this the intent letter. You're going to send it to the district attorney, and asking a letter of intent with all these things. Okay. Now, if they answer you, they will not answer you. Most likely they won't answer you. Then the follow-up step, you still have a little time. You're going to get a little bit higher of intensity. Okay. This is where a writ of mandamus could come in. Another escalation of letter of intent, telling the judge certain things that I'm not going to say it here because it's risky. If you do it, you want to know what you're doing. But I'm going all in with this case, you see. So this is just not legal advice, but it's the steps that I took in my case. So just take it with a grain of salt. I am going to share. I think I asked AI. This is just AI. I don't think I have the one. I was just telling, no, this is not the document that I wanted to show you. But I'm gonna make another video and I'm gonna show you what Claude AI draft me this letter that talks about all this as asking for the bonds. And this is what and of course you want to pressure them and escalate it because you're going to report them, right? For embezzlement, for fraud, identity theft, all these things that they commit. So if you understand what's going on and you're not facing a lot of things in your life, I don't want you to put yourself in harm, then you're going to escalate it to these reporting agencies. And another things that I have done already is form to report them with the IRS, right? For tax fraud and all that. First, you want to fax to the IRS form 4506A. 4506. That is, you want to know, I believe it's 4506A, which is a form that they will let you know if an entity is tax exempt. That's the first form that you want. You can fax it to the IRS. Once you get the answer for that, either by mail, yeah, they'll answer you by mail. Then you're going to start the 3949, the 211, and all that to report them, okay, for tax fraud. And you want to start that process. Well, but in the meantime, as soon as you get a court case or something happens, send that form. You want to know if this entity is tax exempt. There never are. Just to let you know, there never are. So, but you want to have that answer from the IRS. They will send it to you at home. And then you can start filing and reporting. And then the letter of intent, if they don't answer you about the bonds, that's the next step. Okay. You can send all the documents that I have on Gumroad. If you're going to go all in into your case, And I just hope the best for everyone, that we can get educated about these things and go to Montgomery and get the information about the bonds. You want to know what's going on when they write you a ticket. So there's many things I want to share, but I really can't, because I don't want to put you in a position where I wanted to share the document, but this is not it. But I'll make another video. This is something that I asked ChatGPT about my address. Yeah, about the physical address where I was needed to send this. So this is not it. But I will put another video, part 3 of this series of court cases. And so you can see the cool, and if you need it, I'll email me and I'll send it to you. I'm gonna try to make it as a template so you guys can edit it. It's cool, but you have to know and be willing to go through the ringer with these people and assert your rights and get educated about the federal rules of civil procedures, your rules of the court, and all that good stuff. All right, I hope it helps. All right, that's all I have. Have a great day.